Hello, when you play Farming Simulator 25, do you like for it to be more realistic? Hi, I'm Farmer Teacher. Let me show you 3 mods that's going to make your game more realistic. Stand by. Okay, the first one is Realistic Cab View. Realistic Cab. And that's it right here. And what it does is it changes your view. It gives you some zoom capabilities. You can kind of lean over while you're driving when you're looking at a piece of equipment. I like it because you can look at some of your gauges that you couldn't normally see, and then over the side and stuff like that. So let's take a look inside the game. This is pretty cool. Okay, check it out. So the mod is loaded, and if you're sitting in a vehicle and you want to look at something, maybe over the side, maybe your tablet right there. Once the mod is loaded, all you got to do is hit shift, and then you can move around. It's like you're leaning over. And you can see that. You can see your display better. You can see over the side. Same thing applies to the back. It's just pretty cool. It gives you one more view to look around and allows you to see your gauges and stuff better. Maybe up there. Isn't that cool? It's really cool, and once it's loaded, you don't really have to worry about it. It's in there in the background. Now it is a script mod, so it's PC only, unfortunately. But once it's in there, if you hit shift, it's going to zoom in. You have to hold shift down. Okay, so when you let it go, it's going to zoom back out, just like that. So great mod, great mod. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, the next one is Neighbors on the Field. Neighbors on the Field. Check this out. We've been looking for something like this, and that's it here. AI neighbors work on the fields. And it is a great mod. It's got 4 out of 5 stars, and I'll show you why it's not 5 in a minute. But what it does is, while you're going about your day, you got workers into the other fields that are doing things. It makes the game so much more immersive and realistic. Let's take a look inside the game. Okay, let me show you on the menu here for the Neighbors on the Field. Once you have it loaded, you're going to see this little deal right here. And that's what it's doing, is showing who's on what field. Okay, they're fertilizing on field 1. They're hoeing on field 4. They're harvesting on field 5. Weeding on field 6. Harvesting on field 21. So let's look at our map here. Look at that. I'm not doing anything right now. So all these people, this, that, those are all my neighbors working. I don't have any AIs going right now. Look at that, one up there too. So let me show you on the menu. Okay, this shows you who's on what field. But then if you go into your settings, okay, at the bottom, you're going to see it here. And you have the ability to tell it what's the max amount of workers. And this is limited to, it'll go to 99. You don't want to do that because you'll use up all your capacity for people. So maybe 6 to 8. Depends on the size of the map and how much memory and stuff you have. So you can change this right here. And down here is whether you want them to compete for existing contracts. So if you put on, then you're competing with these guys for a contract. If you put off, then a new contract is generated for them, for their field. You don't necessarily compete with them. Field adjustments for contracts. On, if no suitable contract is currently available, the game may adjust field states so new contracts can be generated. And if you have it off, contracts are only generated on fields that already match. So if you don't have enough, you could turn this on or you could turn it off. So you can play around with that. And the big thing here is that number. Now, if you go too much, you need to have some capacity for this. I was playing around with it and my computer got sluggish. So it depends on your game. Okay, so we're flying around a little bit. You can see one of my neighbors over here. He's harvesting this field. That's just kind of cool. So when you're driving and you're on your way to the market, you'll see some people out there working in their fields, and that does add a lot of realism. I really like this mod. I wish it was standard on the game. I understand why it's not, because consoles couldn't handle the extra, the extra AI workers. But it's really cool to be driving around and you see other workers in the fields. Okay, here's a guy out fertilizing his field. Cars are going by, you're riding by, going to the market, and you see some people out there working. That's just cool. That's just cool. Okay, here's a guy out here in this field weeding. It's just so awesome to see some activity out there so it's not so static when you're playing Farming Simulator 25. So this is an awesome, awesome mod. All right, let me show you the next one. It's pretty cool too. Okay, the next one is called Real Wind Pump. Real wind pump is one word. And that's it right here, real wind pump. And what it does in the game you have for $10,000, you can get this water source here on your property. And it always has water, has an infinite amount, and it doesn't matter what the weather's doing. But what this does is, it gives it a capacity. It fills up when it rains. You have to wait on the capacity to fill, and if the fill rate is based on the wind, because it actually works off the wind. So it's not a given thing. It's not exact, not an exact science, and it holds 6,300 liters of water. In the winter, this thing will freeze, okay? And you can't get water out, so you got to plan ahead a little bit. If it's below 32 degrees, it's going to freeze. Once it gets above 32, it starts thawing out. Okay, it's going to start thawing out, and then you'll slowly, it doesn't just all of a sudden become water, it gradually melts back into water. So it does add a sense of realism, and it's pretty cool. Let me show you in the game. Okay, check it out. Suppose I'm on this map and I wanted a water source, and I've already loaded my real wind pump mod. So I would go to construction, and you go over to containers, and you're going to see it here. The factory one is gone. Okay, this is now it. So if you want to use the factory one, you got to take the mod back out. Here it is right here. It's $10,000. So let's place that right over here somewhere. And it tells you it's the mod, real wind pump mod. Boom. All right, now let's run over here and check something out here. All right, look at that. It's filling up. Check it out. I have 260, 270 liters of water in there. So my water is filling up. Once it's full, once I get enough, of course, you can take it anytime. It's going to go to that capacity. So it forces you to do a little bit of planning because you only have 6,300 liters. So maybe you got a couple of greenhouses and you got to split between this. So you're going to have to do a little planning there. All right, let me show you something else with it. Okay, my water tank here is full with 6,300 liters in it. My water tank here is not full. I've only got 1,600 in there. So I'm going to fill this up. Boom, it's filling up. Almost done. Boom, we're done. So my water tank here is full. Okay, but look at this. It is no longer full, and it's adding water as we go. So you have to plan a little bit with this thing. You want to do this right at the end of the day because then you got to wait on it to refill again to do another tank if you need another tank of water. And also requires even more planning in the winter. Let me show you that. All right, check it out. Suppose you've already emptied your water tank here, the big water tower, and you still need some more water in here. You can go here and park it and try to fill it up. And it's going to put what it had, and then it's slowly creeping up. But you don't have to stay there. You can leave that and go work on something else, and it will still continue to fill up your water tank. Notice the capacity of this stays at 0, so it's taking all the available water and putting it in your water tank that's sitting there. So that's another way you can have it fill it up, but you don't have to give it all your attention. All right, let me show you the winter time. Okay, check it out, guys. It is the morning of January. It's 24 degrees outside. So when I go over here to my water tank, I got 6,300 liters of ice. I cannot get water out. When you go over here and try to get water out, it won't let you get anything because it's ice. Okay, so now we look at the weather here. The high today is 41, so it's going to warm up enough that I can get a tank or two of water. So that's what I want to do in case it's below freezing in the morning. It's going to be down to 16 tomorrow. Check out the weather. Okay, February is going to be low in the morning too at 21. It's going to be frozen. It's supposed to snow, but it will warm up during the day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go forward a little bit in time till it thaws out. Okay, guys, I had to go all the way to 11 until it got above freezing. It's 33 degrees. You can see that the ice is melting if you look at the bottom right, and it's becoming water. Okay, you can see it clicking off there. I got about 800, 900 liters of water right now, and the ice is melting. So in another hour or so, we should be able to get a full load here. Okay, here we are at noon, another hour, and we have a full load in our pump. It is above freezing now. All that ice is melted, so I can fill up my water tank. This is really cool, though. It gives you a level of realism, makes you plan a little bit about what's going on with the weather when you do your water tank for your greenhouses or animals or whatever. So that's pretty cool stuff. I just want to show you that. So that's my 3 mods: the realistic cab view, the neighbors on the field, and the real water pump here that makes things look more and more realistic. So that's all I got. I'm Farmer Teacher. Share this with your farming buddies. I'll see you on the next go round. Bye-bye.